one of the biggest hits of Netflix, without a doubt. It's made them a lot of money over the years. We're talking, of course, about the docudrama series, fictitious, whatever you want to call it, The Crown. Currently heading towards, allegedly, its very last series. This time, of course, Her Majesty the Queen, played by Imelda Staunton, who hasn't necessarily come out of this with flying colours, but we'll just park that there for now. The bigger picture now, really, for The Crown is this. They want to kind of go out with a bang, and as we now know, they're picking up the series in the latter part of the late 90s, which includes the terrible situation and demise of the late and beautiful Princess Diana. Must be very difficult if you are Prince Harry, aligned to a company that allegedly you need the money for, but are exploiting your family, invading your privacy in this way, but you have nothing left to offer other than to sign on the dotted line and take payments of checks. As we know, also, Harry and Meghan's docu-series didn't pick up that Emmy nomination. And a lot of people are sparking the speculation as to, well, you know, will this now seal the end? Were, of course, Netflix hoping to grab something from that. But now there's a bigger picture emerging, and one really, if you are a senior member of the British monarchy, you may be relieved to find out about. As I said, you see, this particular series, allegedly going to be the last, focuses on some of the most salacious aspects of the late 1990s. And for those that lived through it, like myself, they were truly the sort of bigger hitters of the tabloid world. We all know them, you know, the unraveling of the marriage between Diana and Charles. All so many different things were tumbling out at a rate of knots. But in more recent times, in the 21st century, in 2023, one of the biggest royal stories is none other than the former royal known as the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, and his alleged association with this particular gentleman. Now, what's interesting here is apparently they were going to look into this, and as ever, we have to say allegedly. But for Prince Andrew, he must be mightily relieved, simply because they're now going to abandon all aspects of this particular storyline. And rightly so, I truly believe. But the bigger issue is simply this. It's not necessarily being kind or drawing a line under it. According to a very good source that worked on that particular show for that period, it's simply the costs. They can't really afford all the legal fees attached to make sure exactly what they're allowed to say and what they're not allowed to say. Now, as we know, currently, that particular case is drawn under. There's nothing more to disclose. And of course, His Royal Highness, the Duke of York, has said nothing about that situation. So if they were to exploit it and get it wrong in some kind of way, or indeed perhaps create a scene that didn't exist, then this could have massive legal ramifications, as one can imagine. So for this particular ending, the Crown are playing it safe, picking on, many people might suggest, the people that can't simply answer back, i.e. the late and beautiful Princess Diana, amongst others, Dodi Al-Fayed, another one. So is this the end of the problems for the Duke of York? Well, apparently not. It looks like he may now not also get an invite up for the summer break up to Balmoral. But we have some breaking news there, because apparently that's what the papers are reporting. What I can tell you is this. The King himself may not be residing at Balmoral, but his own Scottish retreat on the Balmoral estate. You get the picture. And what's interesting there is simply this. You see, while he's residing in his own retreat, that leaves the way for various visits of senior members of the British monarchy, including the Duke and Duchess of York, to make a very personal visit. And King Charles himself is keeping a very keen eye on the progression and health of the Duchess of York, who's gone through a very difficult health scare right now. You're up to date with all the latest breaking royal news regarding the Crown and summer holidays. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.